Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies podcast, where we give movies a second look, second chance, second take, if you will. I am your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Twito.
Hey, Preston, this is me, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
No, I'm Indiana.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jugs to you, sir.
It belongs in a museum.
So does that dame. Put her in the museum.
Oh, man. One of my favorite movie heroes.
Yeah.
If not the best movie hero.
I don't know if, when we watched the Shia LaBeouf one, I don't know if I said this. I never watched this until I was an adult. I knew of the movies, never watched any of them until like 3 years ago.
I've been watching them since I was a kid, dude.
I don't know what I did with my life. Like, I watch it, it's like, I know so much of these movies, and like, wow, haven't I seen this? Like, Indiana Jones is the action guy. Like that, he is the man. But
when I was growing up, we had the first three on VHS in like a box set. So I wore those out.
Yeah, I wish that's a big life regret is never watching. And I know why I didn't.
Yeah.
Tyler Bradley's Nana had one of them in the face melting scene.
Oh, yes.
I saw that as a kid, and everyone decided it's way too adult, and it freaked me out. So
I saw Temple of Doom for the first time when I was 8 years old, and it gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
This is also around the same time the same year that I saw Die Hard. So, and that didn't freak me out at all. So I don't know what was going on.
I think I saw Temple of Doom. No, I saw, I guess. And then, God, why am I blanking on it? Sam Raimi and Boomstick. Night of the Living Dead. No, not Night of the Living Dead.
Ash.
Why am I drawing a blank? Ash Campbell.
Versus the Evil Dead?
Just Evil Dead at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Shouldn't have seen that. That freaked me out. Yeah. Hey, but we're talking about the newest Indiana Jones.
That's right. The okay one?
I think it's
They tried to cram what they should have done for years into one movie.
Yeah, and I do love
the last one.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas had an agreement to make 5 Indiana Jones films.
Yeah,
since 1979. So like, finally did that. Good.
And Spielberg was originally going to direct this one, and then changed
gold.
I think for the better, because
like,
while Spielberg has on movies he's produced recently has made like some good decisions on like how stuff should go, I feel like him as a director is kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's getting close to calling it.
Yeah, he's just mostly producing stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Dial of Destiny. Archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary artifact that can change the course of history, literally and figuratively.
Really threw that ending together, didn't they?
Sure did.
I mean, like what you just said. Yeah, they did. But boy, it really only shows up in the last
it feels like that's what all these movies, that's where it was kind of going to end, was time travel.
Yeah, you've had aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing left at this point.
And it makes sense for the world of Indiana Jones, because he's found the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant and seen that the guy's heart get pulled out of his chest. So why not time travel? Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes perfect sense.
Positive review from James Mortram from Total Film. A terrific thrill ride with Ford in fine form. Indy's Last Stand is highly satisfying blend of action, humor, and emotion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the emotion for me was John Williams' last movie.
Yeah.
So that did enough for me for it to be emotional. I don't know, something about Harrison Ford actually looking old too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this.
And this is like Harrison Ford's probably favorite character, if I was guessing.
Yeah, definitely.
He is
It's his
the
baby.
most. He loves this character so much. He showed up to the Game Awards for the video game this year.
Freaking! I thought that was a joke when someone told me that. I think you told me that, and I was like, "Bull crap!" And looked it up, and was like, "Oh my god, no freaking way!"
But like, I doubt he played it. But like, somebody probably played it for him and showed it to him. And
What's this thumb thing you keep telling me about? We
why
used the
can't I
thumb in the
see
day to get in
myself?
cars. When we was a carpenter, we charged the celebrities more.
Negative review. Tim Grierson of Screen Daily, the iconic archaeologist, has spent his life digging for the treasure of the past. Sadly, Dial of Destiny does the same thing, pillaging our collective fond memories of a once great franchise.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either.
No. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be this guy so quick. I feel like every time we do one of these movies, I am that guy. I just feel like this is another Disney tie-in that they needed to keep their fingers out of.
This is, I mean, they
down with the mouse, down with the mouse.
Well, I mean, they bought Lucasfilm, so like
Yeah.
they own it. But
I guess this, like you said, this is definitely a better one than my boy Mutt.
Yeah,
what was his name?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. So much better than that. So
that one was shot on digital and had like some kind of weird glossy blowout.
Still, I went and listened to part of our podcast for that because I was like, didn't we talk about the weird shine?
Yeah,
on everything.
Mm-hmm. This starts out as, like I said, a movie they should have done in the 90s.
Yes,
like this whole premise of Indiana Jones working for the OSS in World War II, infiltrating Nazis.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know anything about this movie. I didn't even see a trailer.
Was this the first time you watched it?
Yeah. Okay. So I knew they de-aged him, and there was a moment where I went, "Is this the entire movie?"
No.
And I was jacked. I was pumped, dude. I was like, "This is what I want."
They couldn't sustain that through an entire movie.
No, the VFX pretty sharp though.
Yeah,
that was top notch. Just
how far Disney has come from Grand Moff Tarkin. Is that Grand Moff? Yeah, Moff Tarkin in Rogue One to this is amazing.
Yeah, and he's the oldest person to be de-aged. He's 80. Al Pacino was like 78 or 9.
And that wasn't good at all.
No, this one was wild. He got wet. He got in. Yeah. Don't make that the clip. This one was wild. He got wet.
He got wet, dog.
The VFX was balling. He got real wet. He was dripping. But yeah, that whole opening scene, they should have done that in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
That's part of my frustration is like, man, that would have been perfect.
Mm-hmm. Him and his buddy Basil are trying to
I love that guy, dude.
Yeah. Originally they're looking for the Spear of Longinus that the Nazis have.
Yeah.
But they stumble across the Antikythera, which is the Dial of Destiny. It's like a clockwork thing that Archimedes came up with and split in two. And who else is looking for it but a Nazi scientist played by Mads Mikkelsen?
God dang, dude, I love him.
He's so great.
Like him and Christoph Waltz. Like,
yes,
there's just an aura.
Mm-hmm.
They get on screen. Sadly, they're pretty much always villains, but it's like, I'm sold. I don't care what you do.
He's made a whole career out of it, so he's great.
Perfect at it. I mean, he looks.
I mean, the first time I saw him was in Casino Royale.
Oh, and that was immediately you know he's going to be swinging somewhere up on some.
Oh yeah,
Daniel Craig balls later. He's going to be popping that thing.
I was like, maybe what was that? 2003, 2004?
Yeah,
2005 maybe.
I think 4.
Okay, so I was like 14 or 15. And I was like, what?
Wow. I'm way off.
Oh, wow. So I was like 16, 17. But still, I was like, when I saw that scene for the first time in theaters, I was like, how's that hurt? Oh.
I just remember watching it and I went, oh, and my dad went, you can't do that out loud.
Obviously, you can.
Yeah. And it was just my dad and I, because we used to go to the movies at weird times when no one was there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember dying laughing so hard at just my dad out loud, you can't do that.
You do that.
The movie. Yeah.
But yes, so this movie is like a lot of chases, I feel like.
Yeah. Logan watches with me, and I kind of mocked her when she said this at first, and then I went, oh, yeah. She goes, these are just a bunch of car chases.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, yeah, it is actually. That's
Mm-hmm.
not normal.
Because there's a scene on the train, and then there's Morocco, and then, chasing Fleabag lady through the university, and then Morocco and all these other places. But back to the Nazi train. Fun sequence. He impersonates a Nazi, gets found out because there's a bullet hole in his jacket.
That's the Indiana Jones stuff I come for.
Yeah,
like pretty clever, pretty great.
Until it's not.
Yep.
Basically, it ends with Nazi getting hit in the head, which I feel like they should have called back to that later on. But
I thought they were gonna I thought he was gonna be.
I thought he was gonna be like deformed or something.
Yeah, or like mentally void from it, and he's crazy.
Yeah, no.
So that's why he's got this weird drive. No, he's just a crazy Nazi.
No, he's just always been a crazy Nazi. But
yeah,
that guy gets knocked off of a train and doesn't age as much as Harrison Ford. But either way.
No, well, it's because he's been on ice. He's got the Captain America thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so knocks off the train. Basil thinks that the Nazi has the dial, but actually Indy has it in his satchel the whole time.
I need to go and also own up to how many times during this movie I just went, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones!
Anytime something happened good that he did, Mr. Jones. And then I realized, okay.
But, it ends, of course, Indiana Jones ended the Nazi regime because the Allies bombed that castle they were in and bombed that train, and Indiana Jones won World War II. And then we fast forward and
69.
Yeah, 1969, and it's the moon landing day, and Indiana Jones is a little worse for wear. He's kind of an alcoholic, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Divorced. His son is dead, which I don't think we really know that yet. But
yeah, I really wondered, were they going to even acknowledge?
Oh yeah, they acknowledged it. They fucking killed him.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Honestly, I kind of wanted Shia LaBeouf to show back up with better writing and everything else. But
yeah.
I also saw him in Megalopolis recently, and I'm good. We're fine. No.
Yeah. I thought he was doing okay there for a little while, but I don't think so. I don't think he's doing great.
But
so yeah, he's just a professor at a college. He's not the famous archaeologist that he probably wanted to be or should have been. He's trying to teach history, but everybody's more interested in the moon landing and all these things. But he brings up Archimedes and the attack of was it Sicily?
Yeah.
Or Syracuse.
Syracuse, yeah. It's
attack of Sicily. Syracuse by the Roman Empire. And Helena, who is his goddaughter, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I just remembered her name as I was saying it. She plays Fleabag on Amazon Prime.
I've never seen that.
I hadn't either, but I heard it's very good.
Okay. She
was also L3 in Solo, a Star Wars story.
That's where I recognized from, was just that.
Yeah.
And she was in
she wrote the latest James Bond movie.
She was in it too, wasn't she?
No,
you're right. She just co-wrote it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Oh, she's writing a Tomb Raider project.
Oh, okay.
TV series.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and she wrote No Time to Die, Killing Eve. So she's done a few things.
Yeah, she'd do some stuff.
But she crashes his class basically, and this is actually the day that Indiana Jones is retiring as well. He's after 30, 40 years, of adventuring and teaching classes, he's done.
Yep. Give me my cake. Thanks
Thanks
for
for the
putting up with
watch.
me.
So he goes to a diner or I guess a bar, actually a bar in the middle of the day, and is drinking, and she comes along and says, "Hey, it's me, Basil's daughter. I want to find the Antikythera, and I think I know where it." She thinks it's still. Well, no, she just makes him think that it's in the river. She knows that he
Yeah.
has it because
Yep.
she's a thief. Um, so he brings her back to the college, and Boyd Holbrook and some CIA types and our I had forgotten what's Mads Mikkelsen's character's name.
Oh shoot, I have it in my notes. It's Dr. Hogan Voyer.
Dr. Voyer, who has no injury from the night where he got smacked off of a train by like.
No, doesn't even remember it actually. All right, thank you. I'll be here for a while. All right, thanks. All right, guys. Someone keeping score. That's two and
It's true.
what, a couple hundred
Yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
Um, they're also looking for the dial. For and come to find out, what's the character's name? Jesus, I forgot it already. Helena. Jesus. She's a thief. She's made several deals with several different people to sell this thing to them,
Yeah, she's a
including
smuggler.
including Doctor whatever his name, Mads Mikkelsen. I can't remember.
Dr. Schmidt is who he is at this moment,
Schmidt. Okay,
working with NASA.
gotcha. Yes, he is one of the Nazi scientists, which is based on a real thing that the American government did called Operation Paperclip, where we recruited Nazi scientists, and that's why we went to the moon.
I thought that was what Bill Gates did with Microsoft Word.
Nope. That's
Yeah,
Clippy.
all right.
That's Clippy.
That's my dad. Clippy's my dad.
Bring back Clippy, dude.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? He was pretty fun until you got that virus that made him pull his penis out. Yeah, there was a virus back in the day that you just get off LiveWire, Napster.
Yeah,
before Napster was legit, and Clippy would show up, ask if you need any help, and he'd say, "I have something to help you," and a penis would show up on him, and then your computer would overload and shut down. Yeah,
that's wonderful.
and you could put it on a flash drive, not a flash drive. Oh my gosh, a floppy disk, and put it in someone else's computer and install it.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anyways, I don't know anything about it, but so yeah, she's a smuggler.
Yeah,
They come busting on up in that college, dude.
mm-hmm.
They murder everybody. Well, two people, and they frame Jones.
Yeah,
I don't understand how anyone would think Jones did it.
well, he was over the body, and it's the '60s, and we don't have physical evidence, so
I mean, he was. Never mind.
he was just there. That's how murder investigations worked back then. It's like you were there when the body was found, so you did it.
This is going to be a wild loop here. It's a Funhouse comment. If you ever get really bored, they have an entire series on the game L.A. Noire.
Oh yeah,
dude, I watched every video they ever made of it while I was sick the last time.
mm-hmm.
I was tripping out on a fever and cough medicine and watching that. Man, what you just said is so true. I mean, they're doing the dumbest things possible, but it's like, we saw you with the person. We think it's you. And the guy's like, I have an alibi. And like, lie.
So this all leads to another chase, but this is through the streets of New York. That starts on a horse, followed by Boyd Holbrook on a motorcycle.
Horse, dude. I forgot he rode that horse through the subway.
It just misses a train.
So close, just
So
just
close.
so close twice. Can't
Yeah.
even believe it.
And if you pause, like if you pause at the right moment when he rears back on that horse, you can tell that's a face replacement for Harrison Ford.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments where I went, ah, dang it.
I think
Okay,
there's some moments where he's actually riding the horse.
yeah, he is. He talked about riding horses on this, and that's the only time he would have.
Yeah.
So
And then there was a scene where the horse rears back, and it's like, okay, that's a face replacement.
yeah, 100% not him. No.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, basically most of these CIA people are Nazis.
I guess I had a hard time figuring out. I think some of them are legit CIA.
Yeah,
Like the
but
girl with
like
the
Boyd
afro, I think is
Holbrook
legit.
is a Nazi,
Yeah, yeah,
which is weird.
um, yeah. That threw me for a loop. I had to think about that. Watching it today, I went, they all weren't probably.
Yeah.
Um, but it does lead you to the best thing ever, which I didn't know that John Ray Davies was in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's in the trailer, but
Had no idea. It was a great
yeah.
surprise. I mean, he
Sala shows back up, dude.
showed up with the Fez hat, and I just died. I got tears in my eyes. And I was like, "This is the best movie ever."
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm
Like
emotional.
the monologue he delivers is about I miss the sun and the sand, and it's like, God, dude. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
When you were younger.
I jokingly watched that and sat there and went, "Yeah, that was me last week in Cancun on the beach. I feel it, bro. I feel it."
I feel that.
But yeah, I think that's why this movie is emotional. They're like,
Yeah.
it's probably it's I don't know. It's weird to see like those characters get old
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like it's not there's not going to be another Indiana Jones.
Right. Yeah. They're
And
never.
Harrison Ford's like, when I'm gone, it's done.
Yeah.
No problem. There won't be a Chris Pratt or Bradley Cooper picking it up. No.
I mean, Troy Baker did voice him recently, so I mean,
He did a pretty good job though.
he did. He did a very good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the flight, basically we find out that Helena's in Morocco. She's taking this thing to Morocco and she's auctioning it off because
at the whatever that hotel is known to be the auction site for all whatever.
Yeah. And he has a flashback on the plane of the last night that he saw her when she was 12. Her dad was kind of losing it and like talking about fissures in time, and Indiana Jones didn't really believe it. But it's like, my guy, you've seen the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, that was like, dude, you've seen a lot, buddy. Like, I don't know.
Let's come on. But basically, he took that from him and promised he'd destroy it, but he didn't. And we get to Morocco and we interrupt the auction, and he has a standoff between a bunch of people with guns and a whip, and the Schmidt shows up, our German scientist, also shows up in Morocco.
Yeah, good old Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
Because the CIA is still a part of it at this point. Yeah, I think there's like one or two agents left.
Because they killed that black agent lady, and then I guess that other guy. So it's mostly just the Nazis looking for it at this point.
Yeah, because I know they take a CIA helicopter.
Yes,
that's there later, but that's after the tuk-tuk scene. Another
chase scene. Yes, this leads into another chase scene.
Yeah, and you have your stereotypical, this is Indiana Jones. You need a kid. Put the kid in the movie.
Yeah.
And you have Teddy Kumar.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Didn't mind it. At first I went, great. I don't want to watch this. Kid's great. It's fun.
Yeah. He wants to be a pilot. He's kind of learning with a fake little setup about how to be a pilot and talking with pilots, and
glazed over that completely until you just said that.
Yeah.
So that makes the ending a lot different.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so this kid's just a pilot now, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember it now. That makes way more sense.
Yeah. From there, we figure out that they're headed to Greece because I think, or Italy, or
it's Greece, because Jones has a friend that's a diver, Ronaldo.
That's right.
And they know that the tablet that's going to point them to the other half is
there's a tablet that will point to the second half that was on a boat that sank.
Yep. And that's dadgummit. Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. That was another great. I went, oh, I love him. This is great.
Oh, like that's a random cameo, but that's pretty great.
Yeah. I had to pause and I went, what Indiana Jones movie was he in?
It
No.
was.
No, he's just there. So
It was probably like he was probably like, I want to be in an Indiana Jones movie. You got a part for me somewhere?
I think that's 100% what it was. Is he? I think he just enjoyed working with Harrison from something. I don't know. Mangold and Steven Spielberg co-produced The Mask of Zorro, didn't they?
I'm sure they did.
I think they both did. So that he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do anything."
Yeah.
So
Well, that's how Harrison Ford became the president in the new Captain America movie. He called Marvel and said, "Hey, I want to do that."
yeah. Have you not when are you seeing that movie?
Tomorrow night or Friday night.
Let me know your thoughts. I may not see it in theaters. I wasn't planning to necessarily anyway, but I'm curious. I've already seen the ending.
Oh,
I
really?
love the internet. Or the end credits,
Mm.
which is nothing crazy, but yeah, the internet
I
just
would find it hard to
front and center
believe.
gave it to me.
Find it hard to believe the end credits are already out there.
Oh yeah. The second the review and the second that came off,
Mm-hmm.
boo, minutes after.
Because a lot of people have been giving their reactions today and their non-spoiler reviews and stuff. So
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen what the reviews look like.
mm-hmm.
I don't trust reviews anymore. I don't care.
I don't either.
No. But sorry, let me not detour.
Yeah,
So they go diving. It's not a
it's
chase scene there, at least.
not really just
They're
a
just diving
fight
into
with
some
eels.
eels,
Yeah.
which I can't. They didn't do the Indiana Jones is afraid of snakes.
Well, they kind of do. They were like, "Oh, so
Eels,
they're
right?
like snakes," and he's like, "No, they're not."
No, they're like big green penises. I'm not afraid of those.
But wouldn't you know it, our Dr. Schmidt shows up again. He's always like one step behind.
Those dang Nazis.
Damn Nazis.
Um,
Helena gives him like a bullshit thing about what the tablet actually says, and
good on that actress, by the way. I fully believed that she was like, I'll take the money.
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, great, that's cool. And then we got that little boy dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, but I almost forgot. Harrison Ford has a really good scene in this where he talks about his son. So like
Yeah,
they did kill off Shia LaBeouf, but like they did it in a really good way, I feel like.
yeah. I mean, they made like he separated from his wife,
Mm-hmm.
lost his son. Like they really,
I think they handled it well.
yeah. And that's probably one of the best acted scenes in the whole movie.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
most people think that Harrison Ford's just taking paychecks, but like
I think he'll tell you he is.
yeah, he
Out of
will when he is taking a paycheck, he will say that. This he did not.
no,
He
definitely
will
not.
never just take a paycheck for an Indiana Jones movie.
I've never seen him get emotional talking about a movie. And
Yeah.
the press for this, I did remember seeing some like he tears up.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what's going on? Does he have cancer and we don't know it?
No.
I mean, that's where my brain went right away, but I have problems. That's all right.
No, he loves this character in this franchise.
I
Hates
mean,
Han Solo.
which is wild because I feel like they're kind of the same character.
Yeah, but
Ish.
yeah, but
But it's kind of crazy. It's the same paradigm. You can't. I don't know, dude. Solo, that he did all right playing Han Solo.
mm-hmm. I think he feels Indiana Jones is better written than Han Solo, which I would agree.
Yeah, there's a lot more thought.
Yeah.
So, but they found that tablet. she hands it over, gives the false thing. They blow the ship up, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And they steal their boat.
She lights some dynamite and explodes the boat, and they figure out that the tablet that they need is actually encased in this wax.
And they poured all the rum out.
They poured out all the rum.
What are they doing?
Jack Sparrow's on an island over there. Why is the rum going?
What?
It's Disney franchises. It connects.
Dude, I would have paid money if at the end of the time travel, the Black Pearl's just coasting over the waves. Just
that would be like some Disney crossover shit like they do in the animated stuff with Pixar.
I mean, it's not as absurd as R2D2 and C3PO showing up in holographics, so
that's true. Yeah, that's pretty good.
But so she sends them east, but they go west.
Yes.
To Sicily, to the ear of Dionysus.
Yep.
Dionysus, I guess, is the
Dionysus, yeah. And they climb in the ear, and it turns into Tomb Raider a little bit. They got to solve some puzzles to get to Archimedes' grave.
Loved it. I was into
good.
it, and I also absolutely loved him climbing the wall and taking a break.
Yeah.
And it's like, you okay, Indy? And he's like, you haven't been shot 9 times. I have a plate in my hip. I have 4 screws.
Once by your dad.
My dad? Yeah, it was. And again, I can find things I hate on this movie, but I kind of can't at the same time. It doesn't compare. That's the only thing.
You can hate on the story a little bit, and some stuff that and basically it's all just like 4 chases throughout the whole movie. But
I think what sucks with Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones, I feel like, started a theme of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what modern movies almost are now. So it's not as like, whoa, because it's like every movie. I don't know. It's a weird chase, but I did love the Teddy goes with them, but Teddy gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Because apparently the Nazi voyeur has magical binoculars that can see thousands of miles away.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I love how do you know the world's flat, Preston? He could see that far.
As long as the plot requires it, it does.
I just love they're on the map and there's a voiceover and he goes, "They're not going east, they're going west." Okay, great.
So they all get to the tomb at the same time, kind of.
Yeah,
I guess. And on Archimedes' tomb is a bird with propellers, with looks like propellers, and it's like, huh, that's odd. They open up old boy's casket, and he's got a watch on. The fuck?
Dude, I immediately went, "Oh yeah, this is a time travel thing. That's right. That's what we're doing. All right, cool." Oh, and I went, "That's the Nazis' watch right there."
When I saw this movie last year or the year before, I think it's 2003. Jesus.
Yeah, it's 2003.
Not 2003, 2023. Jesus.
Sorry, I'm tracking. I'm doing 23 in my head.
Yeah, me too. There was rumors that there's gonna be time travel, and I was like, how are you gonna? I was like, how do you do time travel with Indiana Jones? But I think they nailed it, honestly, with kind of the science.
Oh yeah, and I think they nailed it more. And I'm skipping ahead of Indiana Jones is obsessed with that war, and he's watching it.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's gonna die, and he's like, "Just gonna stay here." But then the whole, I don't know, dude. People get into some time theories, but that whole if you stay, what do you change? What happens?
It's not my favorite form of time travel, where it's but I think would be if time travel were a real thing, I think it would be the real rule is you did it, so it always happens that way.
Preston, if time travel exists,
if time travel was real, yes.
How do you think I got this battery? This is from next week. First thing I could think of. You not seen the time traveler picture of the man in the 20s wearing sunglasses?
Because if Indiana Jones stays in the past, he doesn't go on all his adventures. Like if he stays in whatever year that was in the Roman Empire, he doesn't live his life up to that point to go back.
But then he never brings the finished product back for him to see.
Right.
So then he never would have had it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Whatever, dude. Hey,
But,
movies, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
But I like the form of time travel. It's like no one had invented it. It would like it. They were fissures in time. Like they were always there. Archimedes just found a way to calculate them and figure out where they were.
Yeah, I thought that was clever. I've never seen that. Mm-hmm. And that's weird. Like, I feel like time travel and zombies are the two things that are overdone.
Because again, if time travel were real, it would be like a naturally occurring thing like that you could only access at a certain day at a certain time and go through a wormhole, so to speak, as it were.
Let me tell you something. Remember the great oh boy, I really had a nice rant going, and I'm too dumb to remember what it's called. When the moon moved in front of the sun. Yeah. Anyway, so Indiana Jones is cool. So yeah, he gets shot. Get on a plane. We're gonna go rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, now it makes sense why Teddy's just like, I think I can do this. I just love the random guy in the plane too, who has no purpose in this movie.
No,
at all.
He's just a pilot, and he's just along for the ride. He's just a day player that had to sign an NDA.
At least they gave him speaking lines, man. Like, he got paid for speaking. Cool.
He probably got like $2,000-$3,000 that day.
Heck yeah, dude! I do that.
Probably more than that. Probably got $10,000 or something.
Got free lunch at craft services.
Oh yeah.
I did like. I think the Indiana Jones movies are hilarious when the Nazis are involved. Their grand plan works, and then they're just morons.
Mm-hmm.
They fly through the figure they're out there in 212 BC.
Well, Indiana Jones figures that out first because he's like, Archimedes wouldn't have known about continental drift.
Yeah, and like the whole time I'm like, oh, he's trying to freak him out. He's just trying to freak him out. And then I went, no,
he figured it out.
Right. Yeah, he's like, no, don't do this. Really, don't. Dude, the Nazis' plane gets shot down by Lord of the Rings spears.
Oh, and not to take us back again, but when they're on that island in Greece, or I don't know what is that,
Syracuse.
That's modern day Syracuse. Yes, when they're in quote unquote modern day Syracuse, there's a puppet show of like a dragon fighting the Roman Empire.
Yeah, and when the movie ended, I went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Or like they thought it was a dragon that day or a phoenix. Archimedes saw it as a phoenix, but yeah, he instead of like a rousing speech to get Indiana Jones to come back to the modern day, she punches him right in the face,
right in the kisser, right in the kisser. It was great. I'm like, I'm not. Yeah, you know what? I'll save you the edit. We're good. It was perfect, fantastic. I really thought they were going to leave him there to die, though.
When I first saw it, when I first saw the movie, my first reaction was, "Let Indiana Jones die in history."
Yeah,
but
so here's where
he's got to go back and
screw Mary.
Well, doesn't.
Here's where I got really confused. When he gave the really sincere moment talking about his son's death and his wife is gone, I thought she was dead.
He's just divorced.
So I thought that she took him back to the present. Then she went and saved his wife's life and kept her alive. And I'm like,
nope.
What's happening here?
This movie's time travel isn't like that.
And then it was like, oh, they were just divorced or separated.
Yeah, because like even in the opening scene, amongst his effects is a picture of Marion.
Yeah.
when he picks him up. But
And Shia LaBeouf.
yeah,
And
there's
Sean
actually a
Connery.
picture of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marion shows up at the end, and they get back together. And the last shot of the movie is the movie almost cuts out to that final, kind of little circle thing, and he grabs his hat in the window, and that's
Hides it over his flaccid wiener as he exits the room.
that should be the last Indiana Jones movie, but
Please. Yeah.
it has to be
I mean, it ended well. Just
because you should
don't.
have made 2 or 3 more in the 90s.
Yeah. And I don't know why they didn't.
I don't either.
I meant to call out the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, it's
at 8 minutes in. It's
a
right
Lucasfilm movie. It's the only other
So
franchise Lucasfilm has. So it's
I
a
looked it
Wilhelm
up.
scream.
It's in like 537 different movies and TV shows.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
it is all throughout Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
Somewhere deep in that bucket are my sound effects in Disney's libraries, and they've probably been used once.
Yep.
So I'm getting there. 499 more to go, baby. And it just sounds like this. Yeah, I don't care. I got paid. Suck it. I give this a pretty hard. Well, it's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's a hard one to score because it's the nostalgic piece and it's Indiana Jones. Like I want to say it's an 8-2.
It's a good movie.
Honestly, it's probably a 7-2.
It's a good movie, not a good Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a 6.5.
Yeah, and I know I'm being lenient. Just and again, the hardest thing for me is John Williams' last thing. Like
and kind of like a Mission Impossible movie is like a setup for the next action sequence.
Yeah,
but those action sequences are worth it.
Oh yeah, like it's like sick. I ain't complaining.
Yeah. So
except the next one, it's going to end.
6.5 for me. So that takes us to our next segment, which is what we watching, what we play, what we reading, what we doing.
I watch all of Paradise. It's available.
Yes. What do you think?
Ooh.
Doesn't the ending of the season premiere just come out of nowhere?
Yeah. There's a lot of those. Turns out with that show, but that first one, you're right. You even gave me a heads up, and it hit, and I went, huh?
Because I was just because you're just sitting there watching, like, spoilers for Paradise. I'm just
skip 5 minutes.
You're just sitting there watching. It's like, okay, this is like a weird investigation of like, oh, somebody killed the president. We don't know how. Like, what's going on? And then it's like at the end, it's like, oh, everybody's in a biodome under a mountain in Colorado because the earth is flooded over.
Well, I was straight up like, dude, Preston's tripping because I saw the trailers for it.
Yeah, and
like, standard like, oh, the president's dead.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's kind of like Hulu goes, Apple TV has Silo. We need one of those bunker shows too.
But like, because it kind of it ends weird because he kind of gets suspended or whatever, and then he just starts running home, and I'm like, the fuck, like you've been running for a while, dude. And it's like he gets home, and I'm like, what is going on? And then like the shine changes, and then it's like, oh, it's this time for sunrise. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then it backs out, and it's like a biodome. And I'm watching the latest episode tonight after this.
Okay, so. It's yeah. I won't say squat then. It's good
because it last week ended with the murder of that Secret Service guy.
Yeah, I won't say crap. I wasn't. Yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
I needed a good show to something.
And the new Spider-Man episodes that came out today.
So good.
It is so good, dude.
I'm so happy, dude. I'm a broken record. That's my favorite character.
Tonight, Daredevil's supposed to show up. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Voiced by Charlie Cox.
That's so great, man.
I'm so excited for that new show.
I'm pumped. I can't wait,
4th, dude.
I can't wait. I mean, I feel bad about Captain America because I'm just going, God, give me Fantastic Four and give me Daredevil.
Cautiously optimistic about Captain America.
I think it'll be good.
I think it will.
I'm the same. Like, I can see where people are going to be negative. I can see where there's going to be things, but like
the most positive thing I heard is that the action sequences are good.
Yeah, That everything I've seen, they're like the action's phenomenal.
Yeah, so
It's so good.
That'll be worth it for me, I feel like.
How do you feel about? I mean, you sent me the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm
now.
very excited about that.
I love that they've accidentally or sneakily introduced the villain,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay. Well, this makes more sense. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't think it's gonna end how people think it is, or go like they're gonna fight that villain a different way other than physically. I feel like
100%. And I love that everyone's like, it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk because they're going to have a new name at the end of it. I'm like, yeah, maybe. What,
maybe.
the new Avengers?
Dark. They can't name a movie Dark Avengers. That's like such a comic book.
They're gonna do it. They gonna do it.
Like, I love how they did like the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like at the end of that series, it was called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was great.
But anyway,
other than that, man, that's pretty much all I've been watching. Just some random.
I recently watched the first season of Luke Cage.
Ooh, you ever watched it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the second time I've seen it.
Does it hold up, or is it rough?
Oh yeah. No, it's good.
I've only watched it once, and I remember being like, "Oh heck yeah, this is what
after Daredevil." I was like, "Well, let me watch Punisher again." So I watched all of Punisher.
That's some brutal stuff there.
I don't like that second season.
I don't. It's not as good. I enjoyed it, but
yeah.
I just also got done watching Reacher completely again.
Oh wow!
So season 3's coming out.
Yeah,
and somehow I talked Logan into liking it. So I'm like, oh, great.
So yeah, I'm watching Luke Cage, and probably when I finish that, I'll watch Jessica Jones.
You know, man, Iron Fist gets a lot of hate. I didn't mind it.
I didn't like that first season.
It was a little lame, but I don't know. There's something about it. I was like, all right, this is cool. But
the stunt coordinator came out a couple years ago and was like, that motherfucker did not show up for rehearsal.
No, he didn't. And you can tell. You can tell fully he didn't show up.
He was like, well, when your lead actor won't learn the moves or learn how to fight safely, then I was like, oh shit, you just telling everybody, huh?
Yeah, that dude left everything on the table.
Yeah. He's not coming back. I think Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, obviously Charlie Cox is back, but I think those three are back. They will not hire Finn Jones back. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I like the character of Iron Fist, but that actor won't be back.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Bob's your uncle. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I said mom's your uncle. That's not the right thing.
We don't know what we're doing next week. We'll figure that out.
Nah. Good luck. Figure it out, chumps.
Yeah. But if you have a suggestion for something we should do, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Second Take Movies. Jake, do you have any final words for the people?
Yeah, man, I feel like a woman. Yeah.
In the words of Shania Twain, I feel like a woman.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week for another movie.